Good morning, baby. It's the Doug Rising Show. Well, the Doug Rising Show. Well, the Doug Rising Show. I'm Doug Rice. Oh my goodness. When will I hear the horn? Hey, get up. Don't drop your phone. Yeah, I'm back. I'm here. How you doing? Yesterday felt good. Yesterday was a good show. Yesterday got me going. But today, let me tell you so that you be knowing, I am about to get in serious trouble for the knowledge I'm throwing. What? Okay. All right, folks, how you doing? Welcome to the Doug Rice Show. My name, in fact, is Doug Rice. Thank you so much for showing up. 10:02 in the morning on 9/11. 9/11, where were you? I know where I was. I was up there living in Glendale, Arizona, high on the hog, drinking mimosas early in the morning. I'm looking at the Today Show, and what do you know? Man. And of course, on that day, every one of us can say we were somewhere, you know, and we can account as to their whereabouts. But let me just say, before that, that time I was not woke. And so you can imagine the words that I spoke. I was American. I was a Marine. I was working. I was lean. I was mad as hell too. Now, I think about 9/11 in respects to how it might be comparable to our Negro experiences in this country. And we have all been through a perpetual 9/11 for 400 years, crashing into our mental right between our ears. Yes, folks. I mean, if you want to talk and you want to compare tragedies, you want to talk about those things that really focus the mind against all that you might find abhorrently in kind. Well, there's no better topic than lynchings in America. Oh yeah, we're going to go there today. We're going to review a PDF that I somehow got hold of through threat of death called Without Sanctuary, Lynching Photography in America. Let me tell you something, folks. When I'm set to a task, when I am here, try to get the info to you at last, I was confronted with every stop and every obstacle. I had to jump and hop in order to get this PDF. And it put me to the test, but let me tell you something, folks. I got it. Bam. Now, let me tell you something, folks. I want you to read the title. Without Sanctuary, Lynching Photography in America. Without Sanctuary is a great and terrible book. It's an album of peacetime atrocities during which hundreds of Kodaks were clipped. That review comes from Richard Lacaille from Time magazine. We're going to take a look inside this book to see how obscene it might be. And it's going to be obscene because we're going to see. Now, don't get your feathers in a ruffle, because there's no way I can shuffle the photographs out of the actual PDFs. So, as mentioned in the description, I have 3 kinds of these PDFs, and they're pretty damn good. One of them is a 4-page summary. The other one is a 41-page kind of overview of the entire PDF without pictures, and we'll be focusing on that. And then I've got the actual PDF with all the pictures and gore and all the tremendous lore, the photographs that gave them laughs as they gave Negroes bloodbaths. Let me tell you something, folks. Lynching in America. Lynching in America. There is a book by that very name. And just to sidetrack a bit, I want to show you that book. And here it is, Lynching in America, Confronting the Legacy of Racial Terror. And yes, folks, this book too is available upon request for free. But also, if you give a donation to me, I'll send you these books, these PDFs. Any of these and any of them I have left, I have myriads of these books and can get my hands on many more. So just think of us as the PDF store. But Lynching in America, and again, this is the 3rd edition, Equal Justice Initiative, very interesting. You can get this book. Now, this isn't the book that we're focused on, but this is an interesting book to follow along because, as you can see, the book's pictures show me the indifference and the objectivity, I suppose, the inobjectivity of these individuals that can stand calmly beneath a swinging human that they've recently murdered. In the Civil War until World War II, millions of African Americans were terrorized and traumatized by the lynching of thousands of Black men, women, and children. This report documents this history and contends that America's legacy of racial terror must be more fully addressed if racial justice is to be achieved. And now, with that, let me leave, because racial justice cannot be achieved in this illicit country, and how dare you perceive. It's time for us Negroes to leave. But again, you know, these publications, these books that really, you know, they've been suppressed. They've actually been suppressed. And this one was difficult to find, but I plagued and tussled with my mind until I found 3 iterations of these in addition. And one of them is shocking. Let's start with the first one. All right. So this is available. Again, it's a PDF, really assailable. It's very simple. It's a 4-page doc. I want to go through it and let your mind rock a little bit. So let's see what we got. Let's go through it. All right. Without Sanctuary, Lynching Photography in America. As you saw with me, the photograph on the dust cover states this book's horror succinctly. And let me say, folks, that the photograph that you saw was not the complete photograph. They had it in all its full glory there for all of you to see how gory these beings could be. But I cut it off just so you'd see the prime features and all their teachers. All right, so this was reviewed by Joe Lockhart. So this is a view of Without Sanctuary, Lynching Photography in America, without the photographs, 4-page, real simple. A Black teenager wearing a white shirt, ragged pants, and no shoes stares blindly at the sky. His head is tilted up towards the tree limb from which he has been hanged. His name is Lidge Daniels, and he was lynched in Center, Texas on August 3rd, 1920. on the basis of allegations that he had killed an elderly white woman. About 1,000 men battered down a jail door and hauled the youth off to an oak tree. Lynch Daniels hangs about 6 feet in the air. Beneath him are a mass of white men, many looking at the camera and smiling. The camera catches one boy, possibly 12 or 13 years old, looking up at the lynched 16-year-old. His smile and glee at the scene are clear. It's probably the best fun he has had all that long, hot summer vacation from school. All of this was recorded for a postcard, complete with a place stamp here. Print on the reverse side. As the scrawled message records, someone's Aunt Myrtle sent this card off to distant family members for inspection, just to make sure that the local excitement got properly reported. So let me pause right there, brothers and sisters. Negroes, those that they hanged, us, we, as we sit and listen to the recorded conference of what is within the confines of the PDF I offer for goddamned free. But please, if you don't mind, support me, support the folks here that do this. We are going to delve into these kinds of topics. We are going to leave no stone unturned. We're going to do this over and over again until Negroes have learned. There's no rite of passage, no quarter, no leaving alone that we'll have ever earned in this place amongst these beings, because all we need do is read what we're seeing to understand that it's Negroes that need fleeing. All right, let's continue. I'm going to read a little bit more of it because I just have to. At least the German civilians forcibly escorted through the death scenes of extermination camps in 1945 had the decency to weep and protest unconvincingly that they did not know. Americans photographed these horrors of tortured, mutilated, and burned bodies as an advertisement for white supremacism and popular justice. Weeping comes now as the images of race hatred speak silently from off gelatin paper in the comments section of a website, that one, that accompanies this book, and a parallel exhibition at the New York Historical Society, one Texas woman wrote. A friend told me about your website and that there was a lynching in my hometown of Center, Texas in 1920. As I write this, I am sobbing. Well, oh, really? Are you sobbing, dear? I was so saddened by this that it happened in my hometown. But most of all, that it happened anywhere. Growing up white in East Texas 50 years ago, I remember well the prejudice toward blacks and other races. And sadder is the fact that I am sure there are still many prejudices in center. I never understood why colored in those days had to eat in the back of the cafe in the city when a white child could eat in the front. Well, let me ask you while I pause, did you at least take a moment to question what the cause might be of that type of circumstance in frequency happening by chance in front of a child? Did you protest a bit much? Did you dare to broach or touch the subject of what you saw in subjugation? You looked on in horror. It's far too late to be sad about what you saw back then. And I dare say you look and say, remember when. Souvenir photos and postcards are a lost genre of American photography. The thousands of recorded lynchings throughout the United States generated such profits as penny postcards gave to small town photographers. Only in the mid-20s did the Postmaster General ban such postcards from the mails. For years thereafter, those such photographs were available openly and then under the counter. James Allen, who described himself as a picker, spent years collecting lynching photos from flea market and antiquarian dealers. He began collecting these images after encountering a photograph of Leo Frank's lynching. The result of Allen's efforts were a modestly mounted but emotionally charged exhibition at the New York Historical Society that drove the New York Times to take the mournful editorial notice. This volume, composed of the exhibition materials documented as few other books, the virulence of white supremacism and its violence. And that's virulence of white supremacism and its violences. Often there are 2, 3, 4, and 5 black men hung together. Sometimes the photographed remains are no more than the charcoal trunk of a human being. For the 1899 lynching of Frank Embry in Fayette, Missouri, the photographer collaborated in the murder catches the naked Embry in a last living stare at the camera. In the following plate, Embry hangs from a tree. Often, the hanging posse poses together with the victim. The 1909 murder of Will James was carried out in front of a crowd of thousands, gathered beneath a cosmopolitan street arc with electric lights. His murderers first hung James from the arc, then pumped his body full of bullets, and then had a coon barbecue. Or did they now? Some lynchers charged a nickel a shot to fire a pistol into the dead body. Let me review just to have that heard again for you. Some lynchers charged a nickel a shot to fire a pistol into the dead body of a Negro. Hearts, ears, and sex organs were chopped out for display. Now, let the audience thin out. Let the weak go away. Yes, please. I'm not here to play today. I'm almost certain that this is not the topic you wanted to hear from me, but I could give a damn. Because look here, see, it's the fact that we've forgotten how we got here and all that we've gone through while being here that just tears away at my psyche every single goddamn day and even nightly. And it's time for a remembrance of what they've done. It's time for us to stand firm while we prepare to run. Let's continue, because I've only just begun. The book's graphic and unutterable images move a soul to both despair and wonderment at human monstrosity. It is pornography in a true and most evil sense, yet the despicable images are purest education against racism. Leon Litwack contributes an excellent essay, Hellbounds, that provides an historical context and makes compelling reading. An On the Edge essay by Hilton Als prefaces the volume with an African-American study of reactions against white racism. The footnotes are a research study unto themselves. Folks, I mean, what the bloody hell? What kind of horror they chose to sell? Without Sanctuary, Lynching Photography in America. Now, I've looked over the PDF, folks. I've looked it over, and I got to tell you, it ain't no joke. It's real. It is. It makes you feel. It does. It exudes that kind of reaction, and you can understand why they got such satisfaction. And Without Sanctuary, what an appropriate title, because that is what Negroes face. That is our status amongst these abhorrent race. I'm just going to say it. Now, let me just jump real quick while it's fresh in my mind. All right. So this is the book here that you can as well receive. The descriptiveness of that last PDF was just, I mean, it was good. But this is the actual book without the photos in it. So it should be as impactful. It should be, it should do the job. Let's see. Without Sanctuary. That's a condition. That's interesting. Without Sanctuary. That is how we live this existence, without Sanctuary. There's nowhere that we can go without their resistance. There's nowhere that we can go without their insistence. There's nowhere that we can go without their persistence. Do you understand? Lynching Photography in America. James Allen, Hilton Als, Congressman John Lewis. Well, all right. How could you do this to us? Leon Litwack. Okay. Twin Palms Publishers. Well, look at that. All right, so the forward, Hellbounds, from the Mississippi Delta. I'll expand that a little bit so you guys can see it. From the Mississippi Delta in the early 20th century, Robert Johnson, a black bluesman, articulated a lonely and terrifying sense of personal betrayal and anguish that transcended both time and region. With his songs and guitar licks, his chilling and relentless matter-of-factness, he suggested a society impossible to change or overcome, a new generation of interior exiles like himself, exiles in their own land, empty of belief or hope, vulnerable, without sanctuary. He said, I got to keep moving. I got to keep moving. Blues falling down like hail. 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 The days keep on worrying me. There's a hellhound, rather, on my trail. Hellhound on my trail. On a Saturday afternoon, April 23rd, 1899, more than 2,000 white Georgians, some of them arriving from Atlanta on a special excursion train, assembled near the town of Newman to witness the execution of Sam Hose, a black Georgian. The event assumed a familiar format. Like so many lynchings, this one became a public spectacle. As in most lynchings, the guilt of the victim had not been proven in a court of law. As in most lynchings, no member of the crowd wore a mask, nor did anyone attempt to conceal the names of the perpetrators. Indeed, newspapers noted the active participation of some of the region's most prominent citizens. And as in most lynchings, the white press and public expressed its solidarity in the name of white supremacy and ignored any information that contradicted the people's verdict. Sam Hose worked for a planter, Alfred Cranford. He asked his employer for an advance in pay. Some reported he had tried to collect wages already owed him and for permission to visit his ill mother. The planter refused, precipitating a harsh exchange of words. On the following day, while Hose chopped wood, Cranford resumed the argument, this time drawing his pistol and threatened to kill Hose. In self-defense, Hose flung his axe, striking Cranford in the head and killing him instantly. What do you think about that? Just a circumstance. Within 2 days, newspapers reported an altogether different version. Cranford had been eating dinner when Hose, a monster in human form, sneaked up on him, buried an axe in his skull, and after pillaging the house, dragged Mrs. Crawford into the room where her husband lay dying and raped her. Okay. You're a liar and you come from your father of the lies. I mean, listen to me, folks. This is the beings that we're dealing with. These are the creatures that try to impose their features upon us. These are the beings that we keep seeing kill us. Their kin are deep within and still connected to the sin that did them all in. And I'm gonna tell you something. Ain't nothing but monsters do shit like this. Ain't nothing but, this projection. This is the shit they do because that's their kind of connection. They rape and pillage. They conquer and then ravage the women. They do these things. And more importantly, they are the ones that have put this man into bondage and in slavery. They don't point to the fact that if in any circumstance that Mr. Hose had decided upon sheer thought to put a goddamned axe in the back of Mr. Cranford's head while he was eating, it would be appropriate and well goddamn deserved under the circumstance. Doesn't he have some nerve? I mean, really? You expected the slave to behave, did you not? And upon his behavior, the slave did get shot. Tell you what. All right, so I don't know that I need to delve any deeper into that particular diatribe. I mean, it seems that we know what happened. that is the beginning of the publication, which winds on, for as long as you can imagine. All right, that is the publication that is available, upon request or donation. Again, just to give you a heads up, because I want you to see this. The book is all no photo, all writing. Okay, so I just wanted you to understand. Now, I don't know if I'm able to show the other publication on this show. I don't know that I'll take that chance. I think if I keep the book kind of going real fast, I might be able to get away with it. All right. So this is the actual book, because I did tell you I wanted to, have you take a look. This is the actual book. Okay. And there are photos in this book. Okay. Contents. Let's take a look at the contents. I just want you to know you're able to receive this. The forward, hellbounds, GWTW, plates, notes on the plates. And so the collection of these photos is an extremely valuable piece of historical memory that I think all Negroes should keep close at hand. I'd love to kind of delve a little bit more into what's inside some of the content, but I want to kind of stay away from it. So instead, I've decided to cover as a way to, cover myself, the other book, Lynching in America, which I think is worth a look, just to cover the rest of the show. But remember, Without Sanctuary, Lynching Photography in America is available along with the photos. This book itself is also available. Now, I'm able to put this in PDF. I'm able to put this in every kind of form you can imagine, and convert it for you for presentation, PowerPoint presentation. So, this is a very, very good publication. This one kind of gets it done. Let me read a little bit of it, and then I'm going to have to run. Let's see what we got here, folks. Hold on one moment. So let's start here with key findings. Racial terror lynching was much more prevalent than previously reported. EJI researchers have documented several hundred more lynchings than the number identified in the most comprehensive work done on lynching to date. The extraordinary work of E.M. Beck and Stuart E. Tolnay provide an invaluable research, as did the research collected at Tuskegee University in Tuskegee, Alabama. Now, these sources are widely viewed as the most comprehensive collection of research data on the subject of lynching in America. EJI, Equal Justice, that's what that means, the Equal Justice Institute, I believe, conducted extensive analysis of the data, as well as supplemental research and investigation of lynchings in each of the subject states. We reviewed local newspapers, historical archives, court records, conducted interviews with local historians, survivors and victims, descendants, and exhaustively examined contemporaneously published reports in African-American newspapers. EJI has documented 4,084 racial terror lynchings in 12 southern states between the end of Reconstruction in 1877 and 1950, which is at least 800 more lynchings in these states than previously reported. EJI has also documented more than 300 racial terror lynchings in other states during this time period. Now, folks, what do they have to do to convince you they don't like you? This is something they can't excise from their society. They can't cut these fools out. You see, they let them go during the Civil War's end and allowed them to go back and mend. And there's no reason for us to pretend they procreated. And now their hatred can't be satiated. They are seriously demented. And it's still within them. And to remove that from them removes them from themselves. They cannot bring themselves to punish themselves, to correct themselves. They're doing a piss poor job with this Donald J. Trump, which now has the hatred of Negroes pushed out front. Specifically, the most victimized, collected Negroes from our eyes they can, our Negro women, not Negro men. To the tune of 100,000 of them go missing. And I gotta ask, maybe, what we're missing, because this is not, this seems like they're on a mission. Donald Trump is the epitome of what they are now. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed worshipers, despite the abhorrent, just diseased, valueless being that does everything to appease, they worship their being. They worship that which is in them that creates lynchings. That's what they're in touch with now. So, again, folks, not to go on such a diatribe, but hey, what am I here for? This book pretty much covers everything. Succession and emancipation. Covers when the 11 states seceded from the Union, and how the emancipation did not apply to roughly 425,000 enslaved people living in Tennessee, Delaware, Kentucky, and Missouri. I think that's something we might want to check out right now. The Emancipation Proclamation did not apply to the roughly 425,000 enslaved people living where? Tennessee, Delaware, Kentucky, Missouri, and Maryland, states that had not seceded or were mostly occupied by humans. So those Negroes had to just stand by, sit there, and be quiet. Is that what you're saying? This is a riot. So we free? Is we free? Listen to me. Because that's not what I see. Well, I'll be. This publication, this PDF available. Please, folks, reach out. Take a look at what we're talking about. I don't know, excuse me, if you guys watch the show, but I'm sure you've seen, excuse me, the Forrest movie. What was it? Look at that. Bedford Forrest. General Nathan Bedford Forrest was the Klan's first leader or Grand Wizard, and today he is immortalized in stone monuments, many towns and cities throughout the South. I damn near shut my mouth. I thought that was just part of the show, but now I know it's true. Y'all remember that show? I know you do. You got with the Forrest guy, you know. Anyway, look, I'm going to get ready to go. I think I've made my point. There's a lot more to this without sanctuary to get your neck in a joint. But the other publication that I offer to you guys, I think you might want to take a look at that too. Lynching in America, also available for you. Yes, Confronting the Legacy of Racial Terror. That book, as well as the other book, is available. I do thank you for tuning in to the show today. I'm not really losing my voice. It's not going away. I'm just kind of, I'm going through the transition and going through the second wave. Because I got to have at least some of this voice I got to save, you know. Oh, I love this. I just love doing this over and over. All right, so I do thank you again, folks, for tuning in. Thank you so much. That's the PDF. That's the publication. That's it. What I've got for the Negro Nation. I'm leaving now. It's Monday, or I think it is 9/11. You know what they're on today. And let me say this before I go away. Today is the day Negroes cannot wear a smile. I'm going to tell you why. Just stay here a while. They want you with them today. Look at that photo. They want you to think about what's happened to Americans. But they want you to forget about what's happened to Negroes. They want it in your face all day, today specifically, while you're out there. They want to hear that somber, soulful care about the planes that came from out of nowhere. And, but this particular kind of topic, well, they'd rather that Negroes simply drop it. So today, when you look them in their eye as they, casually glide on by, do yourself a favor if they come anywhere near your spaces. Get that goddamn grin off your faces. Take a look at that again.